Konnichiwa, my name is Logan Charles Luna, and this is going to be my review for Legend of Korra Book 2 Spirits. And the long and the short of it is going to be that you can definitely skip Book 2 Spirits. It's not really anything that happens that has any lasting impact or is important later on in the story is brought up and recapped literally every other episode in Book 3 and Book 4. And there are many references to the events of Book 2 throughout the later seasons. So you don't really miss much. And directly beginning in Book 3, you get a lot of the aftermath of Book 2. So mainly Book 2 is just if you want to be a Legend of Korra completionist, Avatar completionist, you just want to look at every episode and really say you completed the whole series, then you have to watch Book 2 Spirits. So to get in depth with the review, and first of all, I'm just going to rate it out right now. And well, as far as my star rating system goes, I use a 7-star rating system. And if it's anything less than 3, then I don't rate it at all. So I'm not going to be rating Book 2 Spirits. And now this part is going to be talking about the problems of Book 2. And then after that, we'll get into what's actually enjoyable about Book 2. So Book 2 Spirits, it was something that was interesting on paper. However, in execution, it really fell flat. Book 2 actually starts off with Team Avatar picking up where they left off. Mako's in a relationship with Korra. Bolin is trying to find his way now that his pro bending career is basically over. He doesn't have a team anymore. And the team that he does have, they're just kind of like, they're not the best. He has a pretty lame team, and he feels isolated and alone. Bolin feels like he's left behind, and there's a lot of character development for Bolin in this season. So definitely if you want to watch Bolin come into his own, I recommend Book 2 Spirits just for that. And we get introduced to one of the best characters of the series, which is actually 2 characters. It's going to be Varric and Julie. And Varric, the best way to describe him is Avatar's version of Tony Stark. And so basically, if Tony Stark was more of a con man, then if he never became Iron Man, yeah, this is what Tony Stark would still be like. And that's Varric. So Asami needs help because after the first season, Asami's company is just trashed. No one wants to work with her. The finances are almost non-existent. So she needs help from Varric's company to help her bounce back. And she takes Bolin along for support. They're in the Southern Water Tribe because there's going to be a festival. And you actually get introduced to Korra's uncle, who is Unalaq. And he is the chief of the Northern Water Tribe. And he shows off spirit bending when an evil spirit attacks. He offers to teach Korra spirit bending. Korra is hesitant, but does take him up on it so that she can learn more about the spirits, because she feels like she needs to be more in touch with her spiritual side as the Avatar. It's something Tenzin brings up as well, because while not fully a master airbender, Korra has gotten the basics down, and feels more confident with airbending. However, she does mess around with it and has fun hanging out with the kids. Tenzin kind of ridicules Korra about not taking it as seriously as she should. However, as explained before in my last video, bending comes very natural to Korra. She just gets it. She's a natural at it. And it's not something she struggles with. The thing she mainly struggles with is the spiritual aspect of being the Avatar. And there's a very interesting idea that gets brought up here in book 2, but it was never going to work out the way the creators wanted it to work. And I'm talking about the origins of the Avatar. A mystery like the Avatar is always better when you never get a clear answer. Everyone already had like their own little headcanon of what the Avatar is for this world, because to be honest, from just the original series, you had no idea what the Avatar actually was. Like, it was just a phenomenon, something rare that would only exist in this world. And the Avatar had no real origin point. And you always wondered, was the Avatar around as long as humans was around or as long as bending was around? Did the Avatar teach bending to people? Well, teach technique, because people actually learned bending from the animals, which was always a very interesting and important detail in the world of Avatar, until book 2. Book 2 undermines all of that, and it pulls a Star Wars with the prequels by explaining what their mystic power is. So rather than bending being nature and being in tune with nature, being in one with the world and a spiritual connection, it's superpowers. And you get them from magic lion turtles. And now we get to the origin of the first Avatar, Avatar 1. Avatar 1 just thought to himself, what if we just stop renting bending and we just keep it for ourselves? Let's not return bending and we can change the world with it. He was right. But he also got involved with a timeless battle between good and evil, like actual good and evil. It was two spirits, Rava, which is the spirit of good that inhabits the Avatar, and Vatu, which is the spirit of evil and darkness and chaos and all the bad things. And so Avatar 1 fuses with Rava to battle Vatu and save the world. But in turn, he closes off the spirit world and the human world and kind of throws the universe off balance. So now Korra's main objective in book 2 is to bring balance to the world. So she opens the spirit portals, keeps them open, and now spirits run amok in the human world. The ending falls flat again after a journey to the spirit world. Very interesting scene where Korra meets Uncle Iroh. They have a tea party, which is funny because Korra gets transformed into the version of Korra you first see in the series, where it's like little tiny toddler Korra. And she gets some wisdom from Iroh. Jinora, the daughter of Tenzin, the oldest daughter of Tenzin, discovers she has a spiritual connection, somewhat in keen with the Avatar. Korra loses the connection to all the past avatars after her first encounter with the Dark Avatar, which is her uncle Unalaq, after he fused with Vatu. And it kind of both states that Korra will be a new cycle. Alright, every avatar that comes after Korra is only going to be able to draw on the past experiences and life of Korra, which was something that was very interesting on paper. But like I said, with most of what happened in Book 2 Spirits, it all falls apart in execution. It's definitely the weakest part of The Legend of Korra as a whole. It has a lot of problems. The good moments in it don't really outweigh the problems. But like I said, Bolin coming into his own is great. And the introduction of the twins, Korra's cousins, Desna and Eska, was quite delightful. Especially with Eska just basically trying to own Bolin. Like, she puts a dog collar on this man and says it's a betrothal necklace. No, she tries to own Bolin. Like, it's the epitome of, like, privilege that this ice princess just like, oh, I'm going to own this person. Like, he belongs to me now. And I really couldn't blame Bolin for like running off at the altar and not wanting to go through with that wedding, because Esna is definitely terrifying. Alright, this has been my review for Legend of Korra Book 2 Spirits. If you want video shoutouts at the end, if you want access to my fan arts, rough sketches, special digital commissions, if you want to vote on fan arts I'll be making in the future, then I suggest you join my Patreon. There's going to be a link in the video. Check out my social media for other fan arts and artworks of mine. Twitter and Instagram at LCLX25. This has been Logan Charles Luna, and sayonara.